It is Wednesday, the 15th day of June 2022. Good evening, faithful viewers of My Media Prime Television. Thanks for being a part of the 6:30 p.m. edition of news. Coming to you live from Douala, Cameroon with me, Fon Quinter. The news starts now. Eso Maronet, a young girl who was attacked and beaten by a group of girls in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon of Oman, has given her own side of the story to reporters. She was speaking to reporters in Boya yesterday at her lawyer's office as a southwest correspondent Emanuela C. tells us. The divisional officer of Mbanga echoed the message in Matuke village where a gendarme officer was reportedly killed. He began his visit in Matuke at a spot where the gendarme officer identified as Zimbe Zema Herman was killed by unidentified men. According to sources, the victim was ambushed and killed on his way to Pendamboko while he stopped to cross a pool of standing water. Sources further revealed that his motorcycle was taken away by the unidentified men. At Matuke village, where the population gathered to welcome the divisional officer, he decried the inability of the population to denounce security threats in that community. We don't need to blame the vigilante group. You all are involved because it is a very serious case. Those guys cannot come into this village without even the bike riders noticing their presence. I'm sure some of the bike riders transported them. Those boys spent the night in the bush, and I don't want to believe no one saw them, not even farmers.
Una no be tell me say people dem fit come up for some place where no farmer never see them.
The divisional officer who was in Matuke village to raise awareness called on traditional rulers to be vigilant, report to the military whenever there is a stranger in the community, as this move will help fight insecurity. Investigations have been opened to track down killers of Zimbe Herman, whose remains have been deposited at the mortuary of the military hospital in Douala, Lithoa region of Cameroon. Now, Eso Marinette, a young girl who was attacked and beaten by a group of girls in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon, has given her own side of the story to journalists in that part of the country. She was speaking to reporters in Boya yesterday at her lawyer's office, as Emanuela C. tells us.
Having gone through medical examinations and treatments paid by her family, Eso Marinette has been discharged and now ready for her case in court. For the first time after the incident, she narrates to the press what happened to her in her boyfriend's house.
It happened like on the 8th of June 2022. Came with a bottle saying, so I'm the guy which the lady which is dating the guy, that kind of thing, saying all kind of things. The lady and all the four sisters were inside the house. They left the room. They brought out mortar pistol sticks. They asked me that if I don't naked my body, they will choke me here and throw my body outside. Nobody will look at me.
In shock after the whole thing, Marinette's father, Awurumbi David from Limbe, explained his own side of the story, noting that no one is against the law.
Pikin for go hospital, the police today deny. They talk say my pikin don't follow my woman. So as I come to they send my pikin to community health center. We go for the spend money to make and so on. So I will look this and say, no person, every person will not get power past law inside Cameroon.
But where are they on this case? Barrister Lotabe Evans, lead counsel on the case, talks.
The matter is before the court of first instance, Boya, at that is court 3 for preliminary investigation. Preliminary investigation is like some sort of starting the matter at the level. That is why during preliminary investigation they will question the parties that this matter can no longer go to police or any other authorities.
It should be noted that the perpetrators of the act, described by many as inhumane and sad, are currently awaiting trial at the Boya Central Prison.
And to education, the first school living certificate examination has ended today across the national territory. Apart from 4 pupils who were absent in Wafo Nursery and Primary School, one of the centers in Bona Musadi Douala, exams started and ended hitch-free in Douala 5 subdivision. Get details with Moni Emanuela.
Some 629 candidates who registered for the first school living certificate in the Wafo Nursery and Primary School in the Bonamusadi neighborhood in Douala began writing their first school living certificate Tuesday, 14th of June 2022. 629 out of 633 that registered for the examination in this examination center answered present. We are here, everything is going on hitch-free. Apart from 4 candidates who were absent, 3 girls and 1 boy. We have also made sure that COVID-19 preventive measures are highly respected. According to the chief of the sub-center, they held a planning meeting with invigilators on the eve of the exams to dish out instructions on how to conduct the exams hitch-free. To ensure security and avoid fraud or cheating, parents were not allowed to pass through the school gate, while candidates were searched not only for dangerous objects but also for objects like mobile phones, notebooks and papers. There were 2 invigilators per class. The security personnel at the entrance into the campus made sure that COVID-19 measures was not taken for granted, as all the pupils were checked before they got into their classrooms. According to the chief of center, the invigilators were changed after every subject to avoid familiarity with the candidates. Today, Wednesday, 15th of June 2022, the common entrance examination as well as the SEB ended as the pupils wrote French as their last subject.
That was part of measures to fight urban disorder and congestion. Administrative and municipal authorities in Yaoundé have launched a campaign to confiscate motorcycles of those who violate the ban on accessing certain neighborhoods in the central region of the country. Nicole Tako completes the story.
The administrative and municipal authorities are planning to confiscate motorbikes on those who violate the ban on driving in the center of the political capital. After sensation, support and tolerance, the administrative authorities have decided to take a gear by auctioning bikes that have been seized. The DO of the Mfundi Division, Emmanuel Mariel, has taken measures to ban the circulation of motorbikes and enabling the use of taxi in the center of the city in Yaoundé. Despite these measures, motorbike drivers have continued to ride in prohibited areas, and as a result, the authorities have taken the resolution to ensure the enforcement of the ban. As seen on the main roads leading to the city center, the forces of law and order have prevented the entering of motorbikes towards the urban center. Also, to reinforce these rules, the sanctions is increasingly heavy and seized bikes will not be refunded. Prohibited from circulating in the city center, the motorbikers have been sent back to areas where taxi vehicles do not arrive. It should be noted that these measures were put in place because of the indiscipline, congestion and risks to which these bike riders expose to the population. To add to this, some people use these motorbikes to commit acts of banditry such as assault and theft, while others snatch bags and mobile phones from users of the public highway.
Now, reducing high crime wave along the Cameroon-Central African Republic border is top on the agenda for a 4-day meeting between both countries, chaired by Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration at Tanganji Paul in Yaoundé. Mwanzi Njoyogo completes the story.
Cameroon and Central African Republic have begun talks on border issues. This talk, which will hold for 4 days, is chaired by Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, and Central African's Republic Minister of Territorial Administration, Decentralization and Local Development, Bruno Yapand, and is attended by members of the Permanent Mixed Commission on Cross-Border Security and the Ad Hoc Commission on Boundary Demarcation between Cameroon and the Central African Republic. This meeting has as aim to bring about plausible solutions to the crimes reoccurrent along the Cameroon-Central African corridor, such as illegal arms trafficking, and to demarcate the border between the two countries. Speaking during this occasion, the head of the Central African delegation, Bruno Yapand, extended greetings from Central African Republic's president Touadera Faustin Archange to Cameroon's President Paul Biya. He also made known that both countries need to fight against criminality and arms trafficking, which hinders the security development of both countries and also foster economic exchange. It is worth bearing in mind that both countries lastly met to talk on border issues in 2010 in Bertois, East region of Cameroon.
On today's feature page, staff lady Cynthia Azanu visited the Bonamusari market here in Douala 5 subdivision to find out how involved are men in manicure and pedicure. This is what she brought back. In the absence of Cynthia Azanu's report, let's now talk about living with disability after associated with numerous social barriers. But lately, albinos in Cameroon have learned how to swap their weaknesses for strengths. In this report, Dolingante highlights a few who have made it through stigmatization into the limelight. Her report.
Gone are the days when albinos used to be depressed with social problems, as many are now using their weaknesses to become their points of strength. Since last year, these photos have been trending on social media in Cameroon, as they have been shared by singers and celebrities in a bid to add their voices to the campaign in the cause for people living with albinism. 1 year later, the effect has been boomeranged, as many albinos in the country have learned to accept themselves first and doing mind-blowing things as these. Still in the world of music, Cameroon prides itself today for raising one of Africa's most talented rappers, Boy Tag, who is one living with albinism. Mula Mongombe is a strong advocate for using your weaknesses for your strength.
People used to drive me around and they had to treat me funny because at some point people think that you are dependent on them. So you have to be able to look at your weakness, work on it, and make it become a strength. So I advise all albinos out there, never feel like you are any less. You are just made different. Just like even among black people, they are not all black. They are brown skinned people, they are black people, they are fair people, they are red people. So we are not some kind of aliens, you know. So stop feeling that and don't be lazy and think that because you're an albino, so you cannot do this, you should not know.
And now, a taste of his bite. After working with the Cameroonian celebrated celebrity photographer Penjo Baba, Lucy Memba affirms there's no need for prejudice and marginalization. Reason she conceived the idea to make the movie The Chariots of the Gods to raise more awareness on the dangers of stigmatizing albinos. As of now, statistics show 80% of albinos in sub-Saharan Africa die from cancer. Access to sunglasses and sunscreens are important for albinos to continue living healthy lives.
Now on to our feature page, staff lady Cynthia Azanu visited the Bonamusari market here in Douala 5 subdivision, where she sought to find out how involved are men in manicure and pedicure. This is what she brought back.
In recent times, many think makeup, manicure and pedicure is a single-gender business owing to the fact that it is an activity for women to keep themselves beautiful. We are at the Bonamusari market in the Douala 5 subdivision, littoral region of the country, where some men have embraced this activity on the basis that it serves as an income-generating business.
Work is a good work. And can allow you to do your things that you like, yet you have some money. I think that is the most important.
It's almost 5 years today I'm doing it. Still working with women because I really have my profit. When working with women, they do makeup all the time.
According to Mr. Kelvin, this is a means to help his wife.
What made me to introduce inside this business is first of all because my wife enjoyed the business. So it's harder start to do it. But now when she was pregnant, she was supposed to go in the house to make us 3 months when she would give birth. So I decided to leave to learn the work just because I don't want her place to stay close.
A client of Camera explained her preference for the male makeup artists. To her, they are more focused on their job, resulting to a beautiful output. It is worth noting that what was considered a blue-collar job is now a trend in the society.
The B3 Talent Hunt Show 2022 has been launched with subscriptions ongoing on the site's website. The information was made known during a press conference held yesterday, June 14 in Douala, as Joy Ngong tells us.
Cameroon is a country richly blessed with talent in diverse domains, especially in the entertainment industry. Nevertheless, most of these talents are yet to be exploited, or better still, undiscovered. It is within this backdrop that the initiative dubbed B3 Talent Hunt has been organized to fish out all types of talent nationwide.
B3 Talent Hunt basically is in search of talents, cultural, that's to exhibit and showcase the culture of our nation out there to the world. And it's almost 10 years running right now that we've been doing that. We've been able to support not only the upcoming but equally some of the artists that we've been enjoying out there, some of the arts that we've been enjoying out there. So Talent Hunt basically is here to make sure this time around the nation involves itself.
Talent Hunt is a project for youth, and I am one of those youths that have strived on my own and a little help from people to reach at the stage where I am. So I would love to give it back to the people for, chipping in what they could chip in for me, and the way to do that is being with Talent Hunt, support food to food, and to make the industry grow.
The organizers of the B3 Talent Hunt initiative have partnered with the Belinda Babila Foundation with the intention of not only finding the talent, but to empower their lives.
At the end of the day, we really want people to, or the talent will be selected to not only get excited about being number one, but would have been transformed from within 5 months, would have left from point A to at least point D, H, or in G. So it's really the personal development skills that I want to input in all this talent or contestants. It's what is a priority to especially BBF.
Within the last 10 years of its existence, the B3 Talent Hunt initiative can already boast of sponsoring several projects, with the exception this year of bringing the selection of the best talent to the public. Subscriptions and more information are open on their website www.b3talenthunt.org.
Now, the payment of 30,000 francs for the PCR COVID-19 test has gone into effect this 15th day of June 2022 in accordance with the Presidential Ordinance of June 2nd. This is contained in a communique signed by Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manawuda Malachi, as Catherine Ekongwe tells us.
The Minister of Public Health, Manawuda Malachi, has in a communique informed the national and international public that the payment of PCR screening tests against COVID-19 at the flat rate of 30,000 francs CFA in Ordinance number 2022/001 of the 2nd of June 2022 will be effective as from today, June 15, 2022. Still contained in the communique, the said payments will be made on the physical payment site at the National Public Health Laboratory in Yaoundé, the Lakentine Hospital in Douala, and at the Garoua Regional Hospital Center. The establishment of other physical payment sites is eminent in Bafoussam as well as at all border health posts. Again, the enrollment process at the said platform allows the generation of a unique code and the payment receipt that the user will present at one of the sampling sites of the network of laboratories approved for carrying out these tests. At the end of the process, the test results and the payment receipt will be systematically checked at the border health post before boarding. On this note, individuals have been encouraged to continue respecting barrier measures put in place by the Minister of Health, such as social distancing, washing of hands with running water and soap, putting on face masks, amongst others.
And World Blood Donor Day has been observed worldwide under the theme Donating Blood is an Act of Solidarity, Join the Effort and Save Lives. The day is to raise awareness regarding voluntary blood donation. Bukengo Wadi completes the story.
Every second, someone is in need of blood somewhere in the world. Since blood can't be manufactured, patients depend on blood donors for their lives and very existence.
Blood donations are a lifeline in emergencies, disasters, humanitarian crises, and for people who need regular transfusions.
According to the World Health Organization, Blood Donation Day seeks to honor, applaud, and appreciate blood donors for their selfless courage and life impact.
On World Blood Donor Day, we highlight the life-saving power of blood transfusions. Voluntary blood donors come from all walks of life, but they have one thing in common. They give of themselves to others, people they don't even know.
What nothing is the fact that 1 pint of blood can help save up to 3 patients, especially women and children.
Around the world, many communities do not have access to safe blood. Women and children are the most at risk. So please give blood if you can and give regularly.
It should be borne in mind that low risks of heart attack, prevention of cancer, revealing potential health problems like hepatitis, tuberculosis, HIV and AIDS, promoting healthy liver, boosting mental health as well as fight off iron overload, also known as hemochromatosis, are life-lasting health benefits from blood donation.
That report concludes today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. Coming up immediately after the news is Prime Hour with Kum Leonard and his team. I am Fon Quinter. Good night.